the drop, bring my rod man. Pull up, then we spot him. Hop out the whip, no talking. Hit him up in the trunk, then it's Rodman.
In the building, you know that.
Hey man, Sosa, you already know.
Ace in the cut, of course. And then we got the one and only Sleepy 13 in the building. What's up, family?
What's up,
You good?
gentlemen? What's up, gentlemen?
Good to have you, fam. Good to have you.
For bringing me here.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
100%.
Yeah,
So let me get things started here. What first got you into music, and what inspired you to start creating music?
Well, what really got me into music, to be real, really, you guys, was more of quarantine. It was quarantine time, and and during that time, I was actually seeing friends like doing music and stuff, and me, I never did music in my life, right? And to be real, like at the time too, there was not much to do, so I wanted something to do, right? I needed somewhere to express myself, so I took it to the music, right? Took it to the beat, took it to the music.
Yeah, I mean, we hear you, fam. We hear you, and it just makes me think, like if people say like, oh, you're a quarantine rapper, like, or why didn't you start before that? Like, I mean, what would you say to these people?
Well, because I wasn't into the music before quarantine, to tell you the truth. Like, it just happened, you know what I mean? Like, as I said, like, I got inspired a lot more because I seen other people kind of doing it, I wasn't really doing it.
Yeah.
I just did it because I was bored, to be honest, you know what I mean? Right, and I was just sitting home doing nothing, and like, big up to like DBX2, like guys.
That's your producer?
Not even my producer. That's one of my boys, doing this thing right now. You know what I mean? Out in Edmonton, but that's from Toronto. You know what I mean? He is doing it. You know what I mean? Then he has my other little young boy. He got Mac Dizzle. Like, he checked them out too.
Yeah.
Basically, they're doing their thing. They're in the Toronto scene. Right? I seen them doing it, and it made me say, yo, why can't I do it? And I just did it from there.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So you really capitalize on the opportunity of, working from home and, really seeing that it's an opportunity that you could, make the best out of it at this point, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, see, took the opportunity, you know what I mean? It's not something where I said like, where I can say like, I saw myself, or it seemed like saw myself doing, you know what I mean? It just happened, you know what I mean? I did something, people liked it, right? I took the energy, and that helped me just continue doing what I was doing. You know what I mean?
What can we say that you enjoy the most about making music in general?
Oh, it's the love and the feedback I get from people.
Yeah.
Real talk, y'all. Real talk.
Yeah.
Real. Like the love.
I mean, it's for the people, right?
It's for the people, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna say everyone is gonna like it,
right?
But for the people who do enjoy it, you know what I mean? I do it for them.
Yeah.
Right?
That's straight facts.
Like,
that's straight facts.
Like, it's crazy. Like,
can't focus on the haters, right?
You know what I mean? I can actually say that, like, I can actually go somewhere in Ottawa and actually hear someone play my music, right? Playing it, or they heard it before, you know what I mean? Or I go to the store sometime and I have little kids come to me, people come to me, yo, you're Sleepy 13, you know what I mean?
That's deep, that's deep.
I mean, you said the name like that, Sleepy 13. Where's that come from?
Yeah.
Where's the name come from?
Sleepy 13. Say out.
You smoke weed, nigga?
Yeah, listen, I smoke up. You see my eyes, yo? See my eyes? Yeah, so I got my name because of my eyes too, and honestly, like, they say I was a high. So even when I'm not high, they think I'm high.
You're one of those T-Mac type niggas? Is that it?
Teachers thought that,
Yeah. I mean, I see it, but that's a dope name still.
And then 13 is just one of my favorite numbers right there. I was born on a Friday the 13th.
Oh, were you?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Damn.
Wow.
So, and, that's my number. So I put that together, Sleepy 13.
So you brought luck to Friday the 13th, I guess.
Great luck.
That's it. Blessings.
So with that being said, what do you prefer most? Writing, performing?
Very good question. I love that question.
What I love most? Honestly, I got a chance to do all three. Well, I do all three. You know what I mean? Writing, when I do writing, I get the chance to actually write and express myself, Yeah. I performed before, and honestly, I actually love it. I love it, and I actually want more, right? I actually want more of it, like literally more of it.
Yeah.
Like it gives me that vibe and energy. Cause I actually like that energy.
Yeah.
You know what I
It's
mean?
positive energy, right?
Like literally.
For sure. And I don't know. If you could actually make it happen, if you could collab with any artist, who would it be and why?
Collab. Yeah, honestly, man. For me, if I can collab when it comes really for the people who are really out there, for collabing thing, I want to keep it more.
This is your platform.
I rather keep it more local.
Okay.
Before going out.
Not mad at that at all.
You know what I mean? I want us to prosper and grow.
Yeah.
You know?
When you say local,
So,
you mean
like,
Ottawa and Toronto or just Ottawa?
Ottawa, Toronto, straight up. I don't know too much of Ottawa artists, but the ones who are around me, like Bobby Bagal, you know what I mean, straight up. My cousin TK, man, you know what I mean, you can hear him, right? And my next upcoming cousin there, Shamsi, you can see he was in my last video, Traffic, you know what I mean?
And Traffic, that's on YouTube?
Yeah, it's on YouTube, you guys can check
You just
that
type
out.
Sleazy13 Traffic?
Sleepy 13 Traffic, and you see that, you know? Like, real talk, and like, yeah, like other than that, like I have people from Toronto, like like if I make it that way too, like my guys in Toronto, like I said, like I have a guy named 20 Mil, you know what I mean? We have DBX too, you know what I mean? I'll bring up like we have Mac Desert. Like,
And all those local guys, I mean, you're naming so many guys that you want to work with. Why did you mention them?
because these are guys I actually grew up with. Like I'm not gonna lie, these are guys that I grew up with, yo. All Tutu, you know what I mean? Big up to that guy too, you know?
Tutu?
Like, yeah, yo.
Oh, he's a real
These
one.
guys are real-
CLE?
CLE, these guys are raw guys.
Shout out to
These
my
guys-
nigga Tef.
You know what I mean? I'm on the raw guys, yo. Believe me, yo. Real shit, yo. I really enjoy what he's doing. I like seeing what he does, yo. You know what I mean? All of them. You know, and it's probably the same thing when they see me. You know, big love.
Yeah,
You know? Yeah.
for sure.
So with that being said, what's your creative process like when you're making music?
My creative process. Honestly, I'm not one of those guys just be in the studio and sit there and write and all that. I'm not a Carter.
How do you do it? How do you
I'm not
do
a
it?
Carter guy. I'm not a Carter.
How do you make
yo.
it happen?
I'm not. How do I make that happen? Honestly, man, more times, yo, I guess it's toward my mood.
Yeah?
Yeah, my mood and energy, you know what I mean? And I find like a beat or something and like, I just try to relate with the beat and just put something out there. Like
Find the feeling,
Find
feel
that
the
feeling
song.
for it and just do it.
Yeah, no, that's big. I mean, there's so many processes to that, right? So tell me, what's the biggest problem you've encountered, like in your music journey overall?
Honestly, I haven't really encountered no big problems yet. Because I keep everything organic, right? And like I promote myself, but I don't really promote too much yet. You know what I mean? 'Cause I'll be busy. I'm just taking what I get right now, right? But other than that, like when it comes to that, like
Pinpoint one. Pinpoint one thing maybe that, maybe it's not as easy as this.
honestly, what's not easy, I can say, I'll pinpoint one, I can say. So if I'm gonna do this, like, you know, to actually get like everyone to get your music actually out there for to get on that platform to make everyone hear you and see you. You know what I mean? I know there's a lot more people who would love to see me. You know what I mean? They might not know me, but they'll love to see me.
Kind of like generating grassroots movement, buzz.
Yeah.
Trying to something.
You know what I
Get your
mean?
word out there.
Like I said, my music not gonna be for everyone,
Yeah.
but for the ones who enjoy it and the ones who can relate, I do it for them.
Yeah, they
You
want
know,
it.
real talk.
Yeah, I like it for sure. What do you think's missing in Ottawa?
What I feel like missing in Ottawa, man, guys, what's missing in Ottawa? Hey, listen, y'all.
Well,
Peace and
listen.
love, y'all. Yeah, like it's not. I know it's not like Toronto for sure.
Yeah.
Right? Ottawa, man, and there's so much talent in Ottawa. So much talent and
Yes, sir.
unseen talents, right?
Yes, sir.
People like who I know who've been doing this way longer than me, and they're just still there and they need to be seen and they're not seen yet. Right? I don't know why they're slacking. You know
The
what I
good
mean?
question, why? Right?
Right. Thank you. And the good question is why? Because I know some of them who are more talented than me who need to be seen. Straight up. You know what I mean?
Because when you think of Ottawa, like, you know, you could think of Belly. I'd say maybe nowadays Night Lavelle. But there's a lot of artists out of Ottawa. You
A
know,
lot. There's
lots,
a lot. I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot.
Two-time.
Two-time, yeah.
You know, I like, yeah,
Right.
two-time. You know,
Like,
FTG.
FTG. We got the Snoozy.
There's so
you
many,
know,
so many.
Bobby, like there's so many. So many.
And like,
Yeah.
what's the biggest difference between Ottawa and Toronto in your mind? Then, you said it's not like Ottawa, Toronto. So, what would you say is the biggest difference between the two cities?
Yeah, I can say for Toronto, I can say this though.
In the music scene.
The music scene, I feel like for the music scene, realistically, man, I feel like a lot of Toronto people bring a lot of their drama to their music more than so if it was Ottawa artists, like real talk. You know, things that need to be some of them talk about.
Talk about street beef or
like street, yeah, it could be street beef. You know what I mean? Little things like street beef, whatever they do. Not saying that we don't talk about some of the things, but some things you don't need to bring it to the mic and actually put out there, like, you know what I mean? Like, especially if you're beefing someone now. Like, leave that, you don't need to bring it to music. You know what I mean? Keep that out. Do your thing.
I find it's fascinating. What'd you say?
I was saying some things could be left behind closed doors. You know?
Yeah, some things can be left behind closed doors. Like, why open those doors? You know what I mean? That's why a lot of rappers don't make it. You know what I mean? They want to be flashy and all that. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
With that being said, I was just about to say, what do you think is required to make it? Do you feel as if you need to move to a bigger city, or do you think it's like a lack of exposure in Ottawa?
Yeah, we have a lack of exposure in Ottawa, but there is love in Ottawa. But not everyone. The thing about Ottawa, not everyone gives each other. Not everyone loves. Give each other out here love. Like, you guys, like, I know it's Ottawa would rather give an outsider love more than their own people, and that's not cool. You know what I mean? That's really not cool. You know what I mean? We should be supporting each other, man. Look at Toronto. Like, Toronto supports as much as Toronto can be. You know, like, they have their thing where, like, you know, like they do their thing where it's different, where it's a hype city, and everyone does their thing where it's more energetic and it's faster paced, right? And they going through their own shit. Alright, they still represent themselves, and they still give each other. They still represent themselves, and they still give each they still give each other love. You know, they still love. You know, then Ottawa.
That's true.
Like, real thing.
No, we totally hear you, brother. I mean, what you just said right now, it's I mean, that's your take. We respect that, and we got to talk about it, right? Because it is fascinating, right? And that's straight facts. You know that.
Straight facts.
I don't know, you know that. That was strong. Straight facts. Back at it again, baby.
Currency and TV, you know what it is? What's going on?
You got Sleepy, 613 in the cut.
613, you don't know.
Welcome from one six to the other. Welcome. So, quick question. If you weren't chasing your musical dreams, what exactly would you be doing right now? And before we get into it, let's not say anything crazy for a minute. But go ahead. This ain't DJ Vlad.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a good question. Honestly, what I be doing, yo, be working my 9 to 5.
Yes, sir. Getting that money.
Getting that money.
Paying his taxes.
Paying my taxes.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? Just like how you guys.
Being a good youth. Being a good upstanding citizens.
Exactly.
Citizen, you know? Yeah. But on that note though, like for people who don't know your music, like what track would you want to introduce them for them to see? Like if you have it on YouTube or Spotify, what's that song that represents Sleepy 13?
Honestly, everything I put out so far is a little bit different so far, a little bit, you know what I mean? And they all represent different things. So it all depends on where I'm at and who I'm speaking to. But a lot of times when I do, right, I'll show them like Dennis Rodman. I think Dennis Rodman is one.
That's a banger, by the way.
Like,
that's my favorite track.
Yeah.
Just let you know.
Thank you. Yeah, right there, that's a banger right there. Dennis Rodman, right, and then after that, like I'll show them like, I don't know, like there's Traffic, like or I Got Mine. I like them all. Like I show them different. All depends. They're all different styles, so it all depends who. I keep it like that. Like, you know, Dennis Rodman, no hook, all the story. I Got Mine's a story. Traffic, a little bit more commercial, I can say.
Yeah.
So trying all different types of styles so far. Like you hear Make It Boom, that's like a sick drill, like dancing theme, I think. You know, and that when I did that, I just did that for fun. You know what I mean? It's how I felt, and yeah.
And what's your creative process for like those videos? Like for example, you mentioned like Make It Boom, and I saw that you did like the dancing with the the community and stuff. Like what inspired you to do that?
I don't know, yo, honestly, how I feel, like I'm a random guy, yo. It's either I'm mellow or I'm lit. Literally. You know what I mean? Without no drugs, guys. So
Keep it organic.
I keep it organic.
Yes,
I
sir.
smoke weed, guys, and drink a little bit of alcohol. These guys offered me a beer and I said no.
In moderation. Moderation is everything.
There you go.
What's the best advice you've been given in your career once you started making music? Because obviously, I'm sure you've been given lots of advice throughout your life. But when you started making music, like you said, during the pandemic, so it's been the last 3 years,
Yeah.
what's the best advice someone has given you regarding your music career?
Stay consistent, right? People trying to tell me to stay consistent, you know? So, I try.
Like Mula First? Like Mula First, new track every month and video.
See, if I was like that guy, yo, it'd be different. Like I'd be tearing up the streets like that. That guy, yo, he gets big love, yo. I like what he's doing. I actually do that, yo. You know what? Like I came from too in Toronto too, out the block, straight from the town, yo. So big up to the town man, them too, yo. Straight up, you know.
Recently, the rapper Trouble passed away recently, and what are your thoughts on in terms of, Zoe? What do you think about rappers recently dying? Don't forget R.P. Dolph. I just want to say that real quick because that's a rapper to me personally. It's summertime, summer 2022, and to me, it just doesn't feel right not having a new Dolph banger, which is just going to be bumping. You know what I mean? So for me, it's just like, I feel like just the game of hip hop, traditionally, historically, habitually, it's just really sad that we always lose our leaders in hip hop. What do you think about that?
I agree, man. I agree.
I think about that, man.
Yeah.
Well,
Sleepy, what do you think?
what I think, man, I feel like this. What I noticed so far, and even for me, and I'm speaking for myself too and everyone, once you're in this, yo, you're a target, man, right? And even if you're not a target, man, don't get caught in some crossfire. Straight up, man. And if you have beef, man, and you bring it to the mic, right, and you bring it to the streets and so, expect the unexpected. That's all I can say about that, man.
That's a good point. Zoe, what do you think?
I feel like these guys have to walk like a businessman, like it said that he was at a complex, somewhere at 3:20 in the morning. I don't know what he's doing out there, not to say that it's not been good to be there, just certain places like after a certain time you just gotta be home. You gotta be safe at home sometimes. You gotta realize that you're gonna live to see another day. You have your security. I hope you take care of yourself. You're the head of a brand. You're the head of a corporation. Unfortunately, like your regular life that you used to live is done once they know your bank account. They know your information. They know what you do. They watch you. You know what I mean? Like you gotta. It's sad. Like that. I'm not trying to disrespect the man or anything, but it doesn't happen in the other. VP mentioned this before in country and all these other genres of music. It's disgusting. They make the same amount of money. Why is it not happening to them? Like when can hip hop be safe? Like this is a venue that a lot of kids are always going to continue to do because regardless if you have all these opportunities, they love the flashy life of Instagram. They love the life of how you shine, how you have this, you have a rave. Everybody wants to have a chain, and because it's glorified, right? Glorified by who?
100%.
Who they glorified by? You know who they glorified.
Now, honestly, on a positive note, let me ask you this, Sleepy. In the next 5-10 years, what kind of accomplishments do you want to see? For example, are you looking at having your first video online hit 100K? You're looking at hitting your first 100 mil video. You're looking at getting your first stream over a mil. Like, what are you looking at? And let me not put these goals out there for you, but what kind of goals do you have set over the next 5-10
I
years?
have goals for like hitting that million streams, you know what I mean? Hitting that mark, right? Hopefully.
A lot of fake views, though.
A lot of fake views.
A lot of fake views. A lot of rappers buying views that they say, you know what I mean? Like a lot of rappers will drop a track, and in 2-3 days you're like 100 views, but they got 3 comments. You know what I mean? They got like 100 likes. You know what I mean? But the math doesn't add up. You know what I mean? It's like Instagram. You know what I mean? You see a lot of rappers out there, a lot of icons out there with like 50K followers, but they got like 2 comments.
Well, I can say this about my music. Everything I do is organic, yo. I can say that my music is organic, and I have my people who actually promote my music, yo, other than my friends. I have my people actually promote my music realistically.
So say that then.
Like, big up to like, yo, to my people, Set Up Cars Film, yo, KGJ, you know what I mean? The man who usually promote my music for me, you know what I mean? So, if you guys know who he is, you know that he's one of the biggest promoters in Ottawa. So, you know what I mean? Working with 6 Buzz and stuff, so it works out kind of for me, you know? So, and I know I can be putting out more effort into my promotion, but, you know, I just keep myself underground. I do a lot of, you know, keep myself underground. So, I just take what I get at the moment.
Alright, and then like you said you came off the pandemic, right? And one thing, what has the pandemic taught you about? You know, like since right now you're getting that music, what should we be looking out for? Like, is the hunger still there? Like
yeah, the hunger's still there, man. The hunger's still there, because people, honestly, man, yo, like people ask me all the time, every day, yo, like when I'm gonna be dropping something, and I want to hear more, and I get shocked sometimes. You know what I mean? Like I say, like I'll be walking down the street sometimes, and all I hear is "Sleepy," and I don't know who that is. Sometimes, yo, looking left, looking right. You know what I mean? And that could be anyone. You know what I mean? That could be something coming from my head. Who knows? You know what I mean? Next minute, yo, I heard your song and stuff. You know. So when I get that. Right? That kind of inspires me, like, yeah, you heard my song? Yeah, I love it. When are you gonna do more? How are you gonna get more?
Organic.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about.
Right.
people, right?
Yeah.
So listen, man, thanks for coming to Straight Facts. We love having you here, you know what I mean? Very organic, you know what I mean? It's always good, so tell us, where could people find you? Where could people, where could people find Sleepy? Where could we find your music? Tell us, plug yourself.
You can find me on all platforms, you know. YouTube, Spotify.
But where? Like, tell us the name.
Yo, search me up, Sleepy13. You know what I mean?
How do you spell it? Hold on. How do you spell it? How do you spell Sleepy? Because a lot of people spell Sleepy different.
SLEEPY 13. You know what I mean?
Just like the shirt.
Yes, sir. So thanks for coming to Straight Facts. It's really great to have you here. And I heard through the grapevine that on June 30th, 2022, a lot will be happening. But before I get ahead of myself, maybe you could tell us a little bit more about what we can expect from Sleepy 613, Sleepy 13.
Well, yeah, before I get into that, I'm going to be dropping like 2 more videos, hopefully before that, you know what I mean? So you guys be look out for that. And then June 30th, I'm doing a big performance, big opening for...
Where?
At the Preston Center, okay. You know what I mean? I'm doing a big opening for 3 on French, big up to them in Pangs, you know, don't know.
You mean like CLE, not Cleveland?
Yeah, CLE, not Cleveland,
Okay, just checking, I'm just making sure.
Yeah, CLE, not Cleveland. Yeah, hopefully I get to see 2, hopefully far down 2 with the man down. Yeah, so yeah man, that's what's going on, that's what's going on.
And where can we find you online?
You can find me online, y'all. Search me, Sleepy13. SLEEPY 13. Sleepy, you know what I mean?
So YouTube,
Spotify, Shazam. Yo, check me out. You'll find me. Literally.
Sleepy, good to have you on the show. Appreciate you coming out to Straight Facts, Currency ENT, BIA Media. It's always a pleasure.
Yes.
Shout out to May Fitness. You know what I mean? We out here.
And that's what?
And that's what is that?
What is that? That's straight.
Facts.
Back
at it again, baby. Straight Facts, Currency ENT, BIA Media. Manny, fresh with the braid up. Zoe,
You look.
in the building. So, man, a whole lot going on in the sports world lately. A lot. Rub hands like Fargo when it comes to what's going on in the sports world right now. Shout out Felipe Fargo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we gotta say,
I got
Manny.
a question for
Zoe.
you. Do you think that NBA is becoming soft, or is it getting better, or is like where do you think?
Here's what it comes down to, and before Manny Fresh gets into this, actually, Manny Fresh, you're the freshest guy on the panel right now. I'm gonna let you start it off. Go ahead.
Well, that's the first straight fact you said all day. But what do you mean by soft? Soft could be
like in terms of like, for example, like there's a lot of blowouts. There's a lot of soft technicals for you touching the head. It's not their fault that some of these people are uncoordinated. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, they slap the wrong person. It's weak. Nowadays we have people have injuries because they got their toes. You know, remember Kobe used to play with like a bunch of broken injuries. Allen Iverson was literally walking with a limp on there, dropping 54 against the Raptors and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, explain, like, today's game, they're so coddled, and it's just like, I don't know, when I hear stuff about reducing games and like you're paying somebody $265 million to do what, play 72 games, and like what, you don't even make it past the first round? Like, come on, man. Like, to me, it's disgusting.
So I do admit that the game these days is way more softer than the days or the Michael Jordan days or whatnot. But you also have to admit that these guys these days now, they make a lot of money, right? So they're very protective.
Because of who, though? You just mentioned the people that paved the way, that took the real beatings. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, you telling me these soft asses, you know what I mean, are supposed to be like playing less and getting more.
But you also don't want your main guy to get injured, right? Like, let's just say.
Hold on, are we done? Can I speak now?
Go ahead, man.
Can I speak now?
Go ahead.
All right. Are you done?
Go ahead.
Because let me just say something first and foremost. As an owner of a team, the NBA is a product. Now, the product, what good is your product when you have your star players hurt and injured because you're allowing them to get beat up like it's WWE? And just last time I checked, talking about, oh, I wish the game was still tough. Back when the Detroit Pistons played their brand of Detroit Pistons basketball, did you know they were the most hated team in basketball by the fans? The fans hated that brand of basketball. The reason the NBA is what it is because the fans and the players have asked for it to move in that direction.
In the end of the day, was that team effective for what they were doing to get those chips, though?
Let me finish. So now, the thing is that I have to get to. Let me finish. Now, what I have to get to is the NBA is a business. If you're paying people $100 million, $90 million plus dollars to play the sport, you're going to make sure that your product. Listen, you take care of your $299 pair of Michael Jordan shoes. You're telling me you're not going to take care of a product that's worth $100 million? You're going to let him get beaten up and stepped on and crushed on? Of course not. Of course not. But the thing is, the reason why you talked about Kobe playing through his injuries, you talked about guys like Allen Iverson playing through injuries. Right. That's because there's a progress of where the game has gotten to today from where it was. We've gotten to guys like, for example, Jordan rules basketball. We've gone from that to now guys like, for example, James Harden being able to score 34 points a game at least because he's at the foul line all the time.
You don't find an issue with that?
The problem is this year.
The question is, do you find an issue with that?
So let me just tell you this. This year they decided. Yes, I do
it?
find a problem with it because, for example, this year they've decided to change it and they've allowed more kind of aggressive basketball play. They've allowed not calling as much tic-tac fouls. So to go against what you're saying about how you don't like how it's a soft league, they've gone against it. Players like James Harden, if you watch the first half of the year, a lot of players like Luka Doncic were actually upset that they're not used to getting these foul calls that get them to the line. A lot of players make a living at the free throw line. A lot of players get bonuses based on how many points they get at the end of the year. You're taking food off people's plates by deciding to change the rules and make it the way it is. So for me personally, how do I see it? I think as a human being, you should be protected. You shouldn't be allowed to go out as an NBA player and to be mauled and hacked and beaten up every single night for 82 games a night. Me personally, I like to watch sports. I like to watch the starters play. I like to watch James Harden score 30 plus points. But go ahead.
I just remember, like, you could just rest players, right? At the end of the day, you can control their minutes.
Right.
Like, you don't have to chase.
The league doesn't allow that. Look what they did with Popovich, the Spurs.
No. You're allowed to control, like, you can play a certain amount of minutes in the first half, and a certain amount of minutes in the second half. Look how they were doing with Clay when he came back. You know what I mean? He didn't play all the four quarters. So at the end of the day, you're allowed to adjust how you want to play.
That's a great point, and
then I could like give them runs so that they don't get so fragile that when it comes to the playoffs, all of a sudden their body like is fragile because they should be always conditioned. Like if Jordan could do it, you're trying to tell me these players with the sports medicine that they have now and all the therapy they didn't have back then for these players that they can't get recovered. Look at LeBron; he's been playing for like 20 years. Tell me LeBron hasn't changed his body because of sports medicine. So I'm not trying to say abuse the players, but I'm saying you can adjust their minutes. So like for example, instead of them playing 40 minutes a game, you play 27. You let the bench get minutes like the Popovich.
And you know,
did.
I will say this is that, you know, on that note, due to analytics, if you pay attention to the game of basketball since the 2019 season when the Toronto Raptors won the NBA championship, look, guys like Kawhi Leonard, our key player for the Raptors, was load managed. Why? Because of analytics. And analytics has shown that because of injuries to keep their players to play longer, they're doing their best to make sure that players like, for example, the Milwaukee Bucks, guys like Giannis are winning MVPs and only averaging like less than like almost 30 to 35 minutes a game. They're not playing 40 plus minutes like Iverson when he won his MVP. Now, what I will say as a straight fact is the NBA, I think, is trying to get away from the soft calls. They're trying to get back to making it more harder. At the end of the day, it all comes down to what the NBA Player Association will allow, and it all comes down to what the fans want, because those two pieces dictate the direction of the NBA, and that's straight facts.